Have you ever had one of those amazing light bulb of business ideas, but then you stopped yourself because you just didn't feel, well, ready? If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. And that's exactly why we're digging into the playbook of entrepreneur Emma Grede. She built a massive empire on one core belief: you're never going to feel ready. So let's break down the mindset that makes that idea so freeing.
So before we even touch the 10 rules, we have to start right here with the fundamental mindset that holds this whole thing together. It's this powerful idea that waiting around for the perfect moment to start, well, that's just fear wearing a clever disguise.
And here it is, the line that just cuts through all of that noise and self-doubt: no one ever feels ready. It's so simple, right? But it's this universal truth that totally frees you from that trap of needing everything to be perfect. Honestly, think of this as the permission slip you've been waiting for. It's your green light to just begin. So who is the powerhouse we're learning from? I mean, just look at this. Emma Grede is the co-founder and CEO of Good American, a founding partner of SKIMS, co-founder of Safely, and yeah, she's also the first Black woman investor on Shark Tank. The point is, she built this from the ground up, which is why her advice is so real and so actionable.
Okay, let's get into it. The first 4 rules. This whole phase is about taking that little spark of an idea you have and turning it into a solid, actual blueprint you can work with.
Rule number 1 is so simple it's almost brutal. You just have to start. That's it. The only thing that separates a dreamer from a founder is taking that very first step. See, confidence isn't something you can plan for. It's what you build by actually being in motion.
And that leads us right into rule number 2, which is all about what really matters. It's so easy to get precious about our brilliant idea, right? But Emma's point is that ideas are a dime a dozen. The real value, the rare thing, is the execution. That's what turns a thought floating in your head into a real business.
Okay, but to execute well, you have to make the idea yours. It has to be personal. And that's where these 3 questions come in. You've got to ask yourself, 1, what problem am I actually solving? 2, who am I serving, like specifically? And 3, the big one, why am I the person to do this? Your unique answer to that question is your secret weapon.
And knowing why you're the one to do it leads you right here. Become completely obsessed with your customer. And look, this is so much more than just looking at market data or demographics. This is about really understanding their frustrations, knowing their dreams, and figuring out what would make your product make them feel totally seen.
All right, on to rule number 4. And you just have to love the energy of this one. Be scrappy as fuck. This is a mindset. It's about being incredibly resourceful. It's about realizing you don't need some massive check from an investor to get started. You just need to be smart and build a really strong foundation with what you've already got.
And being scrappy isn't just an attitude, you know? It comes with some very practical money rules. Price your product for profit right from day one. Watch your margins like your life depends on it. Always, always overestimate your costs because surprises will happen. And this is so important. Keep control of your company in those early days. You can look for investors later when you actually have the leverage.
Okay, so you've got that foundation poured. Now we move into the next phase. Rules 5 and 6 are all about building the engine of your business. You know, the essential, often pretty unglamorous work that actually keeps the whole thing from falling apart.
Rule number 5 is an absolute lifesaver. It's that the unglamorous stuff is what will save your business. Seriously, we're talking about actually registering your company, opening a separate business bank account, getting contracts written up. It might feel like boring homework, but trust me, this stuff is the armor for your business. It's priceless when things get tough.
And rule number 6 is such a crucial gut check. No story saves a bad product. You can have the slickest marketing on the planet, but your brand is a promise. It's a feeling. And if your product breaks that promise, customers won't just be disappointed, they'll feel lied to. And you absolutely cannot build a lasting business on that feeling.
All right, the foundation is solid, the engine is built, now it's go time. It's time to get this thing out into the world. This next set of rules is all about the launch, about finding those first amazing customers and building a team of people who truly believe. So rule number 7 is all about that launch, and it hinges on this key concept, the MVP, or minimum viable product. The most important word there is viable. It doesn't need to be perfect, it doesn't need every bell and whistle, but it does have to work. It has to be real enough for a customer to use it and tell you what they think. Because that feedback, that's gold. That's the whole point. And this is exactly why the MVP is so important. If you chase perfection, you're going to be stuck in the lab forever, just tinkering. But getting a real product out there, even an imperfect one,
creates momentum. It lets you test fast and learn even faster, out in the real world where it matters. Momentum is the goal. Perfection is the enemy.
So once you've got that MVP out in the wild, rule number 8 kicks in: be shameless. I mean it. Talk about what you're building everywhere you go. Share your progress, tell your story, even talk about the setbacks. People love being part of a journey, so you have to invite them in. Let them root for you.
Now, as you start to grow, rule number 9 might just be the most important decision you ever make. It's about who you bring along for the ride. And the philosophy is incredibly simple, but so profound. Hire for values, not skills.
And here's why that's so critical. You can teach someone a new skill. You can send them to a course. But you can't teach them to believe in your mission. You can't teach them to share your values. In the early days, you don't just need employees to fill a role. You need believers. You need people who are all in. That's how you build a real culture, not just a company.
So, we've made it. We're at the final rule. And this one isn't just a rule. It's a whole philosophy for the long haul. This is about really understanding what this journey is all about.
And here it is, the big one that ties everything together. Entrepreneurship is a marathon, not a sprint. The launch day is exciting, for sure. But building something that actually lasts takes incredible patience. It takes resilience. It means you need to have this deep well of self-belief that you can draw from, especially on those days, and they will come, when quitting feels like the easiest option.
So for those tough days, here's a super simple mantra to hold on to. Just tell yourself, forward is forward. It doesn't matter how small the step is. It doesn't matter if it feels insignificant. As long as you are moving forward, you are winning. And that brings us right back to the beginning, and to the final thought of this whole explainer. Look, we all start out paralyzed by that fear, asking, what if I fail? But Emma Grede's entire framework challenges us to flip that question on its head. The real question, the one that should actually keep you up at night, isn't what if I fail? It's what if you don't even try?